Hello everyone, and welcome to a daily character challenge. I've done this before. I did it for like 5 days, but hopefully I will commit to the full month of January. I know it's like, Katie, you're not going to do that, but I swear I'm going to give it my best effort. I actually made a schedule for the month of January, so hopefully we can make something happen. Anyway, for the first couple challenges I'm going to do, it is just going to be emoji-based characters. For this one specifically, we have the cat emoji, the sword emoji where it's two swords crossing over each other in an X, and then a little karate robe. I don't know what that's called. I'm karate robe. I don't know what else it would be. So for this character, I obviously went with a cat, of course, because there's no other emoji that really gives an identity of what it should be. However, since it has a sword and like a little karate robe, it's got to be a fighter. I mean, come on now. That's just... we gotta do it. So I basically made a little karate cat whose weapon of choice is swords. I don't know anything about fighting, and that probably doesn't make sense, but I did it. Now for this design, I didn't want to go harsh, but I wanted to give it a sharpness. So for the eyes, they're very long, they're very sharp, they point at the end. He's not like an angry character, but you can tell he's serious about what he does. For the robe, I tried to incorporate it in the design with that top puffiness, but I didn't like the sleeves, so I just didn't put sleeves. I felt like they were too extreme, and it would give off that he's an extreme character when he's not. It would make it too harsh. It'd push it over the limit. And then I gave him a little long belt. And of course, I tried to pose him in a dynamic pose with the two swords. I tried my best. I'm terrible at drawing swords. Like anything that like needs consistency, I'm just like out the window. And obviously I struggle to draw the hand, so I just duplicate it because come on now. For ref sheets or like concept art for characters, I don't pressure myself. If I can do it, I do it. If I can't, I do it anyway. I just do the best I can, and if it's not that great, I'm gonna draw it again. It's not like the final. I try and make it the final design, but like I'm always open to new changes. Anyway, and then when I got to the legs, I had to change the foot angle because I drew it stupidly the first time. But I added bandages to try and get that the line from the sword and the lines from the belt to kind of balance in the picture. So it's on the swords, the lines, on the belt is the lines, and then now on the legs is a line, so hopefully it'll create a cohesiveness across the whole character, and also that goes for his bandana. So hopefully this will tie all around. I might just be being stupid, but that's, I guess, my thought process. And then of course I give him a long tail. Because he's got long limbs, he's got a sword, he needs a long tail to match that. And I also added that one little strand of hair in the middle, because I kind of felt like something was missing. It just needed something there to give it more unique, because, you know, we can't just draw a cat. It's got to have something special. Chrissy, are you there? You're such a bitch. You should be. When did you join? Get out of here. Then go to bed. Good night. You do not need me to tell you good night for you to go to bed. What a huss. I don't know where I was. I hate it when people listen to me talk. Because I hate listening to myself talk. I don't even want other people to listen to me talk, which is ironic because I'm recording this for other people to hear me talk. Yeah, I know I'm stupid. Don't call, just text me. Hello. Okay, back to what I was doing. Okay, we gave him a very, very clean color palette. Have the whites on the bandages, and then we're going to incorporate yellow, and we're going to incorporate blue. Yellow because of the cat character, the cat emoji. I use the same yellow from that, and I believe I used the same gray tones from the swords and the white. The gray. I guess it's not purely white. But I tried to make the blue and the yellow balance through the whole picture. I had thought about making his eyes, like the whites of his eyes, blue and yellow, but I decided just the yellow and then make the bandana the blue. That way it's not too much blue on the face. I really thought about it back and forth, but I ended up just doing that. And then of course we add more stripes across the character to add that balance again. And then a little patch around the eye, because without it I felt like it was a little bland. And of course, we add whiskers, and then for the eyebrows, I actually started this, like, doing this a long time ago, this trait, by making just my character's eyebrows black because I'm lazy and I don't want to have to color it. But for this drawing, I felt like making the eyebrows 2 different colors really made him kind of just something more unique and gave him a bit more flair. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Again, for this character, I went for sharp. I tried not to go for harsh. I tried to balance, like, serious nature, but someone who's clean cut. But also, I tried to give it some youthful arrogance to it. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking too much about this, but that's what I was going for. I really, 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 really love this character, but I am biased, of course. I love the balance between the lines, the bandages, that white balance, and then the opposite, inverted, in the rest of the design. I really, really, really like that. I love it when people use, like, negative space or differing, yeah, when they use, like, the difference, like the opposite in designs. I'm sure you know what I'm saying. I also really like the outfit on this character. I'm not a big outfit girl. I'm very stupid when it comes to designing outfits, but I really like the way this one turned out. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions, and if you think something that you disagree, that you would do differently, or if you something like, Katie, wow, that was a really good idea, let me know. I'm here to listen and learn, and that's really why I'm gonna try and do this daily character challenge. Hello everyone, and welcome to day 2 of character design. Today, again, we are doing the emoji challenge because why not? The emojis for today are the squid, mushroom, and the sparkle emoji. So of course I started off with drawing a squid character, and she is female. And along with drawing that squid character, I decided to give her a dress with a skirt that is in the shape of a mushroom top. I feel like this is kind of a typical idea where you see the mushroom top and you'd make a skirt, but I just went with it. Sometimes typical is just what you want to do. So after drawing her into a squid and adding that dress, the sketch was pretty much done. It was simple, it was good, it fit with the emojis, so I was happy with it. The one thing that in the sketch doesn't show is the sparkle, so I have to think through when I color it what to do. So I quickly lined the picture, which really didn't take that much time at all. This whole drawing I was done in like a blink of an eye. If someone had told me I'd done it in like 3 seconds, I would have believed them. I think I saw the emojis and then I saw this character and was like, yep, we're good. Picture's done. Sold here. I can say for sure though, I'm not the biggest fan when it comes to drawing tentacles because they all have to be like cohesive, like the same width, the same length, and I don't want the patience for that. Like drawing tails is like easy, but having to draw them consistently is a difficult thing, but tentacles, I'm not here for it. But we're here to push the limits, so this character is a good character for my catalog. So I decided on the color purple because that's what the emoji was, and I felt like, why not? Purple characters are great, I love them. And to incorporate that sparkle design, I decided to go with diamonds rather than like the clear sparkle shape of the emoji, which I think is fine. I don't think it's that big of a deal. So I went ahead and put some diamonds on her forehead. And then I went ahead and put that red color on the skirt. It's pretty much almost the same color, or is the same color as the mushroom emoji. And then I took that light purple that I used for the forehead, put it on the tentacles, and then I added some diamonds on the tentacles as well. I really like how I incorporated the mushroom spots a little differently, added the circles and then the liner of one around it. I think that's very fun, and I think it's a little more unique than just having circles. Then I added the highlights in the eyes, which I tried to add a nice little sparkle design in it as well. And to finish it off, I added diamonds on the shoulders, and then I went ahead and added that pink hue into the light purple across the whole design because I felt like that dress, it was just so central and it didn't spread throughout the design. So I wanted to take that pink or some pink shades or red shades and add it throughout. And that's it. I hope you like it. This design was very easy for me to do. I didn't think about it too much. It was just a walk in the park, I guess. My favorite part about this design, I will say, is definitely the diamonds and the tentacles. What's nice about tentacles is when you have them all over the page, it gives a sense of cohesiveness. And then when you add a pattern that's also a part of the rest of the character, it adds even more cohesiveness, so it really sells the character and finalizes that design, which I very much love. I think that's very fun, and I really honestly should draw more characters like this, in my opinion. I'm really sleeping on it. But anyway, you can leave a comment below whether you like this design or not, what you would change. I'm honestly very much open to hearing criticism about this design or any ideas. Hello everyone, and welcome to day 3 of character design. Again, we are doing the emoji challenge. Today's emojis are a shell, a music note, and a little kissy. This character design for today is my favorite. It's my favorite I've done this week. It's so cute. I love it. For this design, I decided to go female, and I decided to go for Chunky Mama. Since it just shows the lips emoji, I decided that on her face, she would only show her lips. So we gave her big, chunky hair, which her hair was actually inspired by bubble coral. I felt like it was kind of a fun idea since she has that shell, and it'll give a good ocean theme. I incorporated the shell into this design by making her hat, like a beanie, into the shape of a shell. And to tie in the music note, I decided that she was going to be a saxophone player, because I'm a saxophone player and I'm also a chunky mama. And as chunky mamas, we play the saxophone. It's what we were born to do. So I made her a little like ocean saxophone. It is like also kind of shaped like a shell in that spiral. And it didn't really take me all that long to sketch the concept out. So I started lighting pretty quickly. I also gave her this really cute like suit jacket with nice bubble sleeves. And then to make the bubble sleeves like stand out more, I wrapped her arms in like tight fabric. That way it made her bubble shoulders pop out more. And throughout the design, I made sure to keep everything nice curved, not harsh lines, keep it nice and curved so the design is all well-rounded. Since we're going for a music-y style, I feel like bell bottoms are really appropriate for this, so I went ahead and gave her bell bottoms. I think they really match her style and energy. And then I went into coloring, and coloring took a long time, because originally I wanted to give her really dark red skin, but it was not working out as much as I really wanted it to work. It just wouldn't. So I eventually gave up on that, but I really tried to push it for a long time, because I wanted a character with red skin, but alas, it was never meant to be. I went ahead and went around her skin and added dots just to give a bit of variance on the skin. And then I kept messing around with the color palette and did not like the red. I eventually gave up, but again, it took me forever. And so when I got a color palette I kind of liked, but that wasn't working, I went ahead and threw a color over it and then changed the blending, which if you're ever stuck on a set of colors that you're like, I kind of like this, throw a color over it and then add a different blending, because the color palettes you'll find are just beautiful. With this emoji set, I have an excuse to actually do red and blue because the music note's blue and the lips are red, so I kind of had to do it. Anyway, I hope you like it. Has a nice ocean theme, it's got stars, it's got everything anyone could ever want, and I named her Bukara because I felt like it. I kind of mashed bubble coral and then added the Cora at the end and came up with Bukara. And that is it for this design. Again, I love her. She's amazing. She will fit in with my ocean characters very well, and I'm glad to have her. Hello everyone, and welcome to day 4 of character design. Now, in the last one, I said that Bukara was probably going to be my favorite, but I think it's today's. I think it's this one. I love it so much. Today's emojis are the deer emoji, blood emoji, and the spider emoji. So for this character, I went ahead and decided that instead of making the spider what he will be, I made it the deer because I just didn't want to draw a spider. And I actually have quite a few spider characters, so. But then again, most of them are female. And this character will be male. Now, since he is a deer, I gave him the deer ears and I pointed them downwards. And I gave him a big little schnoz. For his hair, I decided to slick it back in a bun. And then I added those spiders. I added like spiders as antlers, and I think that is so cute. I wanted to give this character definitely an edgy kind of horror vibe, but he's not a mean guy. He's pretty much a soft sweetie. Now, this design, he is definitely a more top muscle rather than leg muscle. He has longer legs, and I gave him hooves. I was trying to make his hair color more fun, but I ended up just using the red. And I gave him a little bit of scruffy. Give a bit of a beard, and I think that is so cute. To incorporate that blood emoji, I made one of his eyes blood red, and then I had it drip down his whole shirt. And then I added 2 lines on his hands, just to incorporate that design somewhere else. Just to incorporate that pattern somewhere else in the design, so it was just more balanced. And since that hair color of his was like only on his hair, I went and put it on the pants. That way that it just didn't stick out and it felt more cohesive. And that's pretty much it. I love this character. I think he's such a soft sweetie. I think he's been through a lot, but I think he's strong for it. You know, he overcame, he conquered. You know, it's just such a solid character design. It's got a simple color palette, it's got a simple concept, it's got a simple design, and I think I really killed it. I'll be honest, I think I slayed in this one. I think I did so very good. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, and that's it. Hello everyone, and welcome to day 5 of character design. Today's emojis are the skull and crossbones, a red bow, and a crystal ball. So with all those emojis in mind, I decided to draw a witch. So when I was thinking through what kind of witch I would want, I decided that I would go with like an elf. So I gave her little pointy elf ears. She's quite short. I decided that since she's going to have a crystal ball on her head, I decided that very, very easily early on because I was like, that just makes sense for her to have a crystal ball in her hair. And then the crosses sticking out. The bones sticking out like the skull and crossbones. And then to match the round shape of the crystal ball on top, I was like, it'd be perfect to give her a ball gown dress. So that's what I did. And of course, to incorporate the skull, I put a little skull mask on her head. Since there is a bow emoji, I decided to throw some bows all throughout her hair because that's just cute. She's not an ugly witch, but I definitely wouldn't say she's polished. But she is pretty. Now, lining this took forever, and honestly, typically with drawings like this, I really enjoy it, but I did not enjoy this. It was honestly just, I had to push myself to finish it, and you're welcome. You're welcome, I finished it. I was strong for us. Typically, like drawing hair and all like the strands, so very like soothing for me and like a de-stressor, but I'm like, this was not a de-stressor. I just wanted to just fall over and be like, okay, I'm gone. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of drawing bows because like they have to be consistent, and I'm just like, no. I feel like I've really learned that anything I have to draw consistently, I don't want to do. But I hunkered down and I did it. Be proud of me. Now, I added bandages to the arms, and I did that because of the hair strands. I felt like having those like strands that are wrapping around her head would match well if we put bandages on her arms as well. Do you get what I'm saying? I feel like I'm not very good at explaining what I mean, but I think you probably understand. And of course her hair is super long. We want to make it as big as her personality. And she's got a lot of it. And just adding all the layers and frills in the dress, which honestly, that was probably the most fun part. Picking where they got to go. I think that's quite fun. And so the ball gown dress is not boring, and it's not just like one color overall. I gave it many different fabrics, and I felt like that kind of sold the idea that she's a witch and she probably made it herself. Since there's a lot of layers in the dress, there's got to be a lot of layers in the hair just to give it some balance, and I feel like it really looks good. I actually think making a dress like this would be so very entertaining. And then I was on to color, and color, I don't know what is up with color. These like couple characters, like for Bukara and Althenia. Oh, I named this character Althenia, by the way. I don't know how I got that name. Althenia, that's her name. That's what I chose. But For her and Bukura, there's something about picking color that I was just like, Maybe it's because the emojis, I try to use those exact colors. And it sometimes doesn't work. But that's what I tried to do for this one. And it looks alright, but it just looks cookie cutter coloring book, you know what I mean? So I just did not like it. So I started doing what I wanted. I played around with the color palette for a long time. I definitely had to keep the red. The hair I really liked as a silvery tone. I really didn't want to change it. And I went in and added some pattern to the dress just to give it some more uniqueness, because it was really boring having it just like singular colors. And I gave Althenia a bold lip, which I think is so fun. I think it really helps the contrast of everything. I also like that her center shirt is a very dark color so that it doesn't blend in with her hair. I just think everything in the final color palette looks good. I'm very glad I settled on these colors. I really like in the hairpiece, the bones have little bandages around them too. I think that's really cute. Oh, and I did add that pattern that's on the dress onto the arms. And that's pretty much it. I wish I had more to say about these character designs. I feel like I don't talk that much about them, but as an artist, I kind of just like pull things out of my brain without thinking about them too much. But like, I pull things out of my brain without thinking about them too much, but I know why I do it when I do it. Like, my brain already has the instinct to match specific things up or pick a color in the midst of white to be darker in contrast. So sorry if I don't explain stuff well, but this character design is great. She took forever to draw. Characters do not normally take me like 2 hours, but she took probably more than that. I'm not sure. Let me check. Oh, that's embarrassing. She took 1 hour and 43 minutes. That can't be. Well, that's embarrassing. When she took a while. At least it felt like a century. Anyway, that's it. I'm sorry. I need to get better at these voiceovers. I apologize. Hello everyone, and welcome to day 6 of character design. Today's design is so cute and adorable. It is Twinkie. I named him Twinkie. He's a little cutie and I love him. His emojis are the pie emoji, the little smile with the tongue sticking out, and the sparkle emoji. Now, I don't know how I got onto drawing a red panda with these emojis, but it just kind of happened. But I will not apologize because Twinkie is so cute. So he's of course going to be dessert themed because of the pie. So I drew a red panda and I threw some swirls of, what's it called? Icing. I don't, why was that so difficult to think of? I put some swirls of icing on his head and I threw some strawberries on, just like the pie. Now, I drew him a very, like, short, chubby little guy, so he's not all that big, but he's got a huge tail, because, of course, I just had to do it. I love giving animals just obnoxiously large tails. It's gotta happen. I went ahead and drew one strawberry, and then I copy and pasted along the rest of the drawing, because I'm not stupid. I feel like I've talked about in every single character design that if I have to do something consistently over and over again, I don't want to do it, and I stand by that. So I went on to coloring after that. Lining was very, very easy. And I just took the colors from the emoji, I think, and I altered them probably like a little bit. I don't really remember. They look similar, but they might be the same. I'm not sure, honestly. I think the ones from the pie I might have altered a little bit just to flow better. However, I tried to use the same colors. However, for the icing and like other colors, I altered a little bit. So the icing is like a light blue, and then I added, the icing, it's a different type of icing. Like the white icing is the swirled icing, and then like I added drip icing, like on the tail that's blue. Does that make sense? I feel like that makes sense. And then I took the sparkles and I added it all over, and I am obsessed. I'm obsessed. My favorite thing to do with dessert characters is just add too much of everything, and that is my city. So I added sparkles, which that probably took the longest, was adding sparkles and sprinkles to everything. I did it all in 3 colors. I did the blue, the pink, and the yellow, just like the emoji. I mean, that's the point of this challenge, so let's make it work. I will say, a de-stressor, definitely drawing sprinkles and stars, or if I could words, drawing sprinkles or sparkles on stuff. Mariah Elizabeth, you know, if you watch her, she was right. She was right. And that's on period. There's just something about it. It's like, it's easy and it's just, it looks good. I bet you she would love this design. I hope she would. She probably would. I mean, I hope she would. It'd be really embarrassing if she did it. After I did all that, the character needed a contrast because everything was just too lighter toned, you know what I mean? So I threw in some choco. We added chocolate under his tail. Then we add some chocolate marks on the legs. One has marks going lower, and then one has higher, and then on the tummy and chest. And we threw it on the arms and head and ears. I think it looks so good. Gotta make sure to keep the paw pads visible though. That's very important. Then we threw on some more sprinkles because we had to do it. It was the law. There was no other choice. Oh, and I did also add chocolate going down from his eyes because I think that's so cute, and it fits the red panda. I think it's so cute. I love his little snout. I don't normally draw characters like that with the very like itty bitty snout that like doesn't fill the whole face, but it's so cute. And that's pretty much it. I love him. His name is Twinkie. It's a great name. I love him. Now, if I had one thing to fix or critique about this character, I'm not going to change it because I think it's fine. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Is the strawberry, the red and green color on it, it's only on the strawberry and on the eyes and nose. And I think it's, it kind of stands out a bit and it doesn't balance, but it's like not that big of a deal. If that's me like analyzing it as an artist, that's what I would say. But I love him. He's so cute, and I'm very happy with him. Hello everyone, and welcome to day 7 of my daily character design challenge. Today we are drawing a dessert comfort character. Last night at 2 a.m. I was in my feels. Now I wasn't sad. I was just in my feels, and I just wanted to draw a character that I would want to cuddle. Because some of us just want a character we can cuddle, you know? So I decided to draw a lion. He is tallish, and he has a little pocket of chunk on his tummy. That is very important. We love all body types here. And he's got a big plushy mane along with 2 leg warmer tuffies and a long tuffy tail. I decided when I was lining the mane that I would add 3 buns with scrunchies. So there's one on the top, left, and right, and I love that for me, and I love that for him. Now about drawing the fur, I've actually been asked a lot about drawing fur. Like, how do you know which way to direct it, how to draw it? And I will be the first one to tell you, I don't know. It's definitely something I just feel out and kind of guess, and if I add a tuft or a swirl, I'll like zoom out the picture and like, does that look right? And if it doesn't, I'll just erase it and try again. But if it fits, oh my gosh. I'm sorry, Heidi just yawned and it was really cute. But where was I? That was so cute. I had all my attention had to go to that. Anyway, I am not one who would be able to tell you how to draw fur. However, I find it very therapeutic and quite easy to do. It's just a little time consuming. So I would say that is probably one of the things that took the longest with this drawing. And then I went to coloring, and of course, my Katie brain, we always go back to blue or red, to blue and red, or blue and pink, or just any variants of that, because that is just what I was born to do for some reason. Blue and red is just my city. I guess I'm patriotic. So I decided that I would go ahead and make his skin white, but then I was like, no, I don't want to make it a pure white because that's stupid. Well, it's not stupid, I'm being dramatic. It's not a smart thing to do, especially if you want to add some brights, because when you add a bright that takes up the whole character, you can't add little detail brights, you know what I mean? Which was important because I wanted to add sprinkles, I wanted to add icing, or patterns that look like it. So I made it a very light blue. I took the airbrush and I airbrushed some darker blues across his fur, and then I took white and I kind of did white drizzles, and then I added sprinkles on top of that, which I really liked. It took forever to decide like what sprinkles worked, what didn't, what pinks work here, what blues work here. Honestly, that is probably one of the things that took up the most time as well. And I realized when coloring it, I couldn't have the two tufts on the bottom of the leg be the same color as the tail because it would just clash and you wouldn't be able to read it. Even now, I'm just like, I like the design. However, there is definitely some room for improvement when it comes to the tail and the leg warmers. I'm not sure exactly what that improvement would be. I couldn't rack my brain around it. Maybe one day I'll figure it out. But for now, it is this. It's cluttered chaos, which I kind of love. Sometimes you just have to have a character that has cluttered chaos. I also went ahead when I did the fur, the mane, I was originally going to make it one color for the mane and the leg warmers, but then I'm like, no, I should make it two. I should make it like fade, and I love that. I'm glad I went with that route because I think I would have sat there for another hour being like, I hate this. So I did that, and then I took the colors, the neon colors that were in the sprinkles, and I put it across the little leg warmers and the mane. And I think that really added a sense of cohesiveness along the whole thing. And then I took some white sprinkles and put it throughout. I also really like the mismatched colors on the eyebrows and ears. And then I pretty much just finished it off with those little males, adding the two different colors, and the eyes, two different colors, and that's pretty much it. I think in total this character took like an hour 40 minutes or an hour 30, somewhere around there to draw, which is honestly a long time for me. But I hope you like it. I really love this guy. I named him Kirk, and I love that name. It's K-I-R-K. I think that's so cute. You know, we went for not an extreme character, but a cluttered character, a cluttered in design, a very detailed. He's definitely not a pushy character. He's probably more along the lines of shy, but sociable, I'd say. But that's it. That's all I can say. You really cannot go wrong with covering a character in frosting and sprinkles. And I stand by that. Hello everyone, and welcome to day 8 of character design. Now for today's challenge, I gave myself an easy well, I guess some people might not think it's easy, but I think it's easy. An easy challenge in that is to just design a pink character. A character whose majority color palette is pink. Now, obviously, I'm going to give her other colors to make her look good, but the goal is that she is themed around pink. So when I was drawing, I honestly just started drawing. I didn't think about what I was going to draw, but I ended up drawing a tiger mouse. A mouse that is part tiger, and she ends up looking really cute. I will say it now. You will love this design. Now, I started drawing the tiger mouse. I gave her a really round head, gave her some nice tigerish, mouse-ish ears. I kind of combined the two. I wanted to give her a haircut, but nothing was working. So my bright idea is to give her a hood. And it ended up looking so good, and I feel like it fits her personality so well. Now, under her hood, she does have an eye on her chest, but in the final rough sheet, you can't see it because of the hood, but it's there. Sketching was really easy, did not take long at all. For her outfit, she has like a swimsuit on, like a one piece, and then it's got a skirt over it that is sheer, so you can see through it. I added bandages on the face, and I gave her whiskers as eyelashes. I like to do that for my characters. I think it's cute. There really isn't much to say about lining this picture, so I'll probably let you just watch the majority of me doing the line art. So enjoy. I'd say the only thing that was a pain for the line art was lining the skirt, just because, I don't know, I wanted it to look nice and I just kept messing up. But I ended up getting it eventually. And onto color, and of course, we are going for pink. So her skin tone is a very nice light pink, and her hood is a hot pink, which is very cute. And I decided that the complementing color would be a nice green. So her eye whites are colored as green, and those bandages will be green as well. And I went and added more bandages on her because I felt like it was really weird to just have 2 bandages on the face and none anywhere else. It kind of just like stuck out. But it was a really good idea for me to add bandages because that green color would only appear in the eyes, parts of the shirt, and parts of the tail, and it would really stick out as like, why is there green there? But adding the bandages with the green really solidifies the color palette. And then I go on to the pink, words are difficult. Then I go onto the skin and add a darker pink, and I add tiger stripes. Sorry if you can hear my guinea pigs, they're having a ball. You girls having fun. Hey, don't bite her ears. What's wrong with you? Hey, don't make me get you. I'll get you. Quit it. What's wrong with you two? Little freaks. Oh, I've upset them. What? They're so rebellious today. I don't know what's gonna do. Anyway. And I added that hot pink on the skin, and I added some yellow, which I think it just added a nice highlight to everything. I added it above her eyes and on her forehead and on top of her ears and her paw pads. And I love the tail. I think it's so fun. Just all the random colors. Because, like, it looks good, but, like, doesn't, if like when you look at it, it doesn't make sense, but it looks good. But it also makes sense if you really look at it, if that makes sense. Yeah. Well, that's it for the design. I really like her. I named her Mifsy. I just thought of that name. I don't know if that's a normal name, but Mifsy is her name. She's super cute. I actually paired her up to be a girlfriend of one of my current characters, Ezekiel, and I think they make the cutest couple. I did a sketch of them. If I have the file still, I'll throw it up for you. But they're so cute because Ezekiel's such a little softie, and Mifsy, I think she's kind of hard-headed, abrasive, but very fun to be around. So I think they make a cute couple. Hello everyone and welcome to day 9 of character design. Today is a little different. I was sitting there and I'm like, I don't know what to do for the challenge today. And I just went to Pinterest because that's what you do when you're an artist. And I scrolled for like forever, not picking something because that's also what you do as an artist. But then I found a prompt board and was like, yeah, I like this. So I picked one of the prompts and the prompt was kiss. And then I had a great idea to draw a character covered in like stickers, like they're not stickers, but like covered in like a pattern that looks like stickers. Once you see the final, you'd be like, oh, I get it. That makes sense, Katie. You're not stupid. And I really hope you don't think I'm stupid. I'm stupid. No, it probably is true. I'm lying to myself. But this character is probably the simplest I've done this whole challenge. Am I okay with that? Yeah. Yeah, I am, because this character is so cute. Okay, so basically I designed a polar bear, a chunky boy polar bear, that is covered in kisses, you know, smooches, and little frowny faces. And I think that is adorable, and I stand by that. I named him Polaris. Christy has a character that's named Polaris, and she was like, you should use that name. And I was like, I was thinking the same thing because it was both in our minds because she had just named a character Polaris, but I think it just fits both of them really well. I'll throw up Christy's character right here because it's cute and cool. They're so different, yet they have the same name, and that is funny to me. So, I mean, this design is just simple. It's good, it's clean, it's simple, it's cute. You know, I went on the line art pretty quickly. I actually like the sketch better than like the line art and final. I think it was like probably the first thing I was drawing, and I was just being too stiff and not being loose, and I was just too robotic with it, and I think that really messed it up. But I mean, it's a rough sheet. What am I gonna do? Shoot me? No, it's fine. Like I'm pretty I think I've said this before, but I'm pretty loose when it comes to concept rough sheets, or like the first rough sheet I'm drawing of a character. You know, you never want to be too hard on yourself when you're designing a character because your opinions of that character could potentially change. Now, I was actually thinking about this the other day, and I was looking at My Little Pony. I know I'm going off track, but I might as well at this point. But I was looking at My Little Pony like designs of what they were before they got the final concepts, and like every pony was different, like really different in color palette besides Applejack and Fluttershy. And I was thinking about it, and I'm like, wow, I have characters that I design and I just never change them. It's pretty rare for me to redesign a character. And I was thinking about that. I'm like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? So that's like really funny. I find it funny. I'd like to think I just do it perfect the first try, but that's probably not the case. I'm probably just stubborn and don't want to change it. Anyway, back to the drawing. I know, I'm a chatterbox apparently. But I drew a polar bear. He's got smooches on him. He's cute. It is what it is. I made him chunky. At this point, all my characters are just gonna be little marshmallows. My head's starting to hurt. This is so frustrating. This voiceover's, I don't know anymore. I'm just really tired. It's been a lot. I've been through a lot. I haven't been through a lot. I'm being dramatic. I don't need sympathy. I'm pitiful. Anyway, I started adding the frowny faces, and they are just black, and then I put white on it to do the little faces, and they're cute, and I love them. This character would be so fun to have a fursuit of, except for the fact that it's white and that's really difficult to keep clean. But I did end up airbrushing over the white, adding some red so it wasn't just white, and it added some flavor, added some funky fresh vibes. And maybe he just killed someone. You don't know. You don't know him. No, he wouldn't do that. He's cute. He's a precious boy. We love him. Can you tell my favorite color palette is like black, white, and red? Can you tell? Can you tell my second favorite is red and blue? You're welcome for that information. Maybe you didn't know that, but now you do. There's just there's just nothing better than a red, white, and black color palette, and I stand by that. Ugh, I probably shouldn't try and talk while I yawn. That's real smart. Thank you, Katie. Then I added the kisses. I just copied and pasted them because, again, consistency. We don't know her. Then I added the red on the paw pads and called it a day. I love this character. I just want to give him a little hug. He's so cute. Little precious boy. Again, his name is Polaris. He's a great little dude. And that's pretty much it. I'm sure this voiceover was so very entertaining and not boring at all. You're welcome. Hi everyone, and welcome to day 10 of character design. Today we have a fruit themed character, but I didn't go into it with any specific concept in mind because I was having a really difficult day. I'm not going to go into why. I'm not going to explain all that, but I was having a bad day, like a really bad day. And I kind of just sat down and was listening to music, and I just wanted to draw a character that I wanted to be in that moment or feel like. So I drew Pollyanna. Of course, when I get in my feels, I draw comfort characters, and she's a comfort character. She is a panda, and I often choose pandas as comfort characters as well. So it's not surprising that she's a panda. But I just sat down, I started sketching, and I was just feeling really upset. So I don't have a lot to say about the design. I kind of just shut my brain off. I mean, I could say a few things, so I will, but I'm sorry if there's not like a whole lot of like artistic, opinions. But I love this girl. I gave her a little buck tooth. I think that's adorable. I think that really shows her silly nature. The line art looks great. I think I did a great job. I'll be honest, I think it's one of my better line art works. Not that I think I do bad. I think I do pretty good the majority of the time. While I was drawing this character, I was actually listening to Tom Cardy's Hot Shit song, which is a great song if you haven't heard it. Right now, it's like that song makes me feel better. It just does, because it screams Katie McKean, and sometimes I forget that I am that person. And having characters like this definitely make me feel grounded and definitely make me feel better. Yeah, I always having characters like this always sits me down, and I realize how on earth people get through the day without having their own little world and characters that they bond with. I don't know, maybe I'm sure there's some sort of trauma behind the way, I think, but I don't understand how people get through the day without hearing those characters and seeing them, or just their own. Maybe that's a lot of telling to who I am as a person, but it is what it is. Now, one thing I really like about Pollyanna is her hair that is leaves. I think that's so cute. Obviously, she's strawberry themed if you haven't figured it out yet. She is such a unique character I own. Because her color palette, it all works. But when you look at it, it's like jarring. Like when you look at it, you're like, it shouldn't really work. But on a technicality, it does. And I really like that for her. I think no matter what, even if we're not like have the most aesthetically pleasing color palette, we are still valuable and still as fun and amazing. And oftentimes when I draw chunky mamas, I don't really give them clothing. Or there are a few chunky mamas where I'll just give them a bikini, and I think that's really funny. I think it's really funny because people would be like, why are you drawing your characters so sexual and lewd? And then they won't say anything about like the naked chunky bears, but like the bears with bikinis is a problem, but the naked ones aren't. I'm like, that's hysterical. And when I say naked bears, I don't draw any detail. It's just like normal, you know what I mean? Like it just shows their curves. It doesn't show any details. I'm getting a phone call, hold on. And that is it for the design. Thank you for joining me today. I love Pollyanna. I think she's beautiful. I really love her color palette. Red and green obviously complement each other, but again, her color palette is just it just looks so unique with this like combination. I don't know, it just like, it screams to me and I love it. Comment what you think below. I would love to hear opinions. All opinions are worthwhile of hearing, so I'm open to any criticism, comments, anything. There's nothing I'd really change about this design. I think it's perfect. Maybe if I could get one thing, it's that some of the greens are too close to each other, like in gradient. But I mean, it still worked. If I wanted to simplify it, maybe cut it down to 2 greens somehow. But like that's just me like analyzing it for like simplicity. But I think she's perfect. I think she's great. I think she's adorable, and I'm happy to have her. Hello everyone and welcome to day 11 of character design. Today I am drawing a mutant character. Her name is Scarlet. Now when I was doing this design, I wasn't going for a challenge specifically, but I did want to draw a mutant character. And I wanted to draw a character with a skull around its head and a character with a hunchback, because I'm not great at drawing characters with a hunchback. I don't really understand the anatomy behind it, and I tried looking for references and there's not really any good references online. So this was me just practicing mostly with that. So I started drawing, I'm not really sure what animal she is. Like some sort of cat, probably. But like what specific cat, I have no idea. But I started drawing her and I gave her 4 arms. I put the skull on her head. It's more of a bird skull than anything. And I just started adding the arms. I started adding really long strands of hair. That, for some reason, just scratches an itch in my brain. And I just love drawing hair like that. It's just so calming, so therapeutic. I've probably said this before. It's just so much fun. I suggest you give it a try. And then once I got the upper body done, I added the legs. She's relatively tall, not super tall, but I tried to make her feet really flat. Hopefully I'll remember that in when I'm drawing her again, because sometimes I look at a rough sheet where I do something specific but then change it on accident and just draw normal feet. So I'm going to really try and keep her feet flat. And then after I got the body, I was thinking on what outfit I wanted to add, and I thought of a beautiful idea because I wanted to keep the silhouette of the body and the tail. So why not give her a sheer mesh skirt, one that's see-through. So The skirt will be sheer, and you'll be able to see through it. That way we're keeping the silhouette, but we get some sort of fun outfit to go over it, which I absolutely adore. So there's 2 layers to the skirt. There's going to be a top layer and then a bottom layer. The top layer is going to be smaller, of course, and then the bottom layer is going to be bigger. So it's going to be more of like a ball gown, but shorter. So I just like chucked in the shape of the bottom skirt. I didn't bother lining it at that moment because I just wanted to see what the shape would be like and get an idea. And then we were on to line art. I started with the skull and the face, of course. Always got to start there. The line art for this picture, I think, is beautiful. I think I did a great job. Pollyanna and Scarlet, they're just having really good line art. That was my good line art days. That's for sure. Which is very funny because Polaris, which is the one I did before Pollyanna and Scarlet, I did not do good line art. So I guess that I just needed that moment of weakness to just overachieve in the next few, which is great. I love that for me. Now, line art is going to take a while for Scarlet, for sure, because of her hair and all those strands. And I like to take my time with that because it's enjoyable for me. I enjoy it. I really recommend you just draw a character with poofy hair because it will not disappoint. So I'll let you watch the line art. Enjoy. So I was done with the line art. There's not much to say about it. It looks great. I don't have any problems with it. And then I moved on to coloring. Now, predictable me, I'm sure you can guess what color palette I decided. Yes, a red and blue with a bit of monochrome, because of course I did. I don't do it on purpose. It just happens, I swear. But it just, like, she looks stunning in the end. Like, you will love it. And oftentimes when I do a red and blue color palette, I choose cotton candy. I just, like, it looks cotton candy. She's giving sugar. You know what I mean? It shocks me every time where I draw a character and then I look at it and I'm like, Katie, that is a red and blue color palette. You stupid, stupid idiot. But then I end up liking it. So it's like, well, I can't change it now. I should just put up, like, a list of all the blue and red color palettes I've ever done. Now, on her ref sheet, I will be adding a reference without the dress, the skirt, and then one with, just so we can be able to see what is going on under the skirt a bit better. You know, I always suggest it with references. If you have something that's busy, you know, break it down. Add 2 versions of it on the ref. That is, you should do that. There's nothing wrong with that. I say go for it. I also made 2 of her arms gray, and I will also add stripes later, which I really like. It gives a variety. And it doesn't let the colors bleed into each other. You know, it gives a good contrast between a dark color and that light pink. If you have a character that you're looking at and it's like, wow, this character is full of, like, just pastels, which, don't get me wrong, is great for some characters. I'll put up my favorite pastel character here. Her name's Margaret. But if you want to make an adjustment where you feel like the colors are too close to each other, add a darker color in contrast, or maybe a more saturated color, and it could improve your character design like 100%. Because this character would not work if I just kept pastels. It could theoretically work, but I don't think it would work as well as this if I hadn't included a contrasting color. Which, I mean, that's also why I like doing the red and blue and then black and white or monochrome, because I just think it looks sleek, I think it looks good, and for some reason it scratches an itch in my itty bitty brain. And of course the classic Katie thing, you add particles on everything. I don't know why that also is like my go-to. I don't really know. I mean, it matches when you add particles on the skin and then you add that goop. You know what I mean? It just looks good, so I don't blame myself for doing that. It is good. And here's me adding those stripes I talked about earlier. Now, the thing about the stripes, could it be more throughout the design? Sure. I think that would be one critique. Maybe if she had shoes, I don't know, to add more of a stripe somewhere. But I mean, you could also argue that the hair does that as well. So it's like, it is what it is. And adding some more particles on the gray because I can. And then I also added stripes in the bow, which I think it looks great. Scarlet, honestly, one of my favorite mutant characters ever. Like, for sure. So cute. And I made her eyes white because I felt like that just fit really well. I don't do that often. But for her, hey, we broke rules. No, we didn't. We did not break any rules with this design. We stayed right in our comfort zone. I will say, yeah, I wouldn't say this is a comfort character, but it for sure screams Kate Cruzian, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. And I played around with the opacity on the skirt just to see which looked best. Overall, I used like 60% except for the red, which I did 50. I think it looks great. I don't see a problem with it. And I used a different red or pink on the skirt than I did the skin, just to make it look more saturated and better, which I think looks great. I also did that with the blue. That is pretty much it for this design. Again, her name's Scarlet. I love her. She's just like a little princess. I don't know. She looks like a mutant princess to me. I think she's just so endearing. Her silhouette is so beautiful. Like, I could just stare at her all day. I like that even though she's like, theoretically, technically, she would be like scary. She's not. Like, she gives sweet energy. You know what I mean? Again, it could be the cotton candy colors I chose. But I love her. If you have any opinions, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear them. Hello everyone and welcome to day 12 of character design. Now have I got a character for you. Today I tried doing some sort of object fusion. I wanted to draw a liquid character. I've drawn a liquid character before. Her name is Fizzy and she is a Coca-Cola bottle. And I wanted to do something similar to that. So I started drawing a shape of like what I would imagine like a glass bottle forming into. And then I wanted to put a character in it. And I chose a koala, which was, I don't know why I did that. It's just, I put a koala in it. There was no like thought process behind it. I just drew it and I was like, oh, that is adorable. I love him. And he is this little sour little koala boy, baby boy, and we love him. Actually, while I was drawing this character, I didn't really connect with it, which is like an odd thing to say. Like, that is not a Kate Cruzian thing. Like, I connect with characters almost immediately and bond with them and get very attached. But at first, I did not get attached to this character. Like, I even talked to Chrissy and I'm like, I might get rid of this character. And I think she wants every character I design, so she was probably like, I want it, give it to me. But I'm like, I might actually get rid of it. And then a little later, I drew him again. And I love him. He's so cute. Like, his little stubby little legs, his little sour attitude. I love this character. It's one of my favorites. I say that about like every character design. Like, they're all my favorites, but this little guy is so cute. And fitting with the theme, I named him Burt Belcher. Now, I watch Bob's Burgers, and I think my brain was influenced by it because, you know, Bob Belcher. So I was like, Burt Belcher. I love that. I think that's really funny. And to be fair, I was watching Bob's Burgers probably while drawing this. So this character design took 45 minutes. Honestly, for some reason, it's either like my best character designs take really long or they take a really short amount of time. It's odd. I don't know why. But this little guy, so cute. I had fun just like shading the soda, which for, I don't like to shade my characters because, I'm gonna make a comic in the future. I work on it now. I don't like having characters that are shaded because it will make it difficult for me to animate them, draw them repeatedly. So I just don't like it. And it's honestly not my style. I've actually had to come to terms with that like a while ago. Because I have a lot of pictures I shade really nicely. I'll put some here of my mini-me that I love the shading on it. But consistently, I cannot do that. And it's not the best for my style. My style works better when I do chunky line art like this. Like when I do fun, loose drawings, like comic style, not shading style. Do you know what I mean? So this is a nice mix of in between. And I think I will be able to animate him. I think I'll be able to draw him in my comic. And I think it'll look really good. So I really like having this character because it gives a mix in between both. And if like, you know, if there's a day I want to shade something, I can do this character because technically he's shaded. So I made him a gray koala, added some little sparklies in the soda, and the glass. I love the shading on the glass. I think it's so pretty. I just really like it. So I wanted to add particles on his fur just to give it something because it was looking a little bland without it. So Chrissy gave me a great idea, which I've done in like other character designs. I don't know why I didn't think about it, is to take both of the fur colors and just like slowly incorporate it into the other color. I mean, watch the video. It'll make sense. It'll make sense when you see it. But it tied it together perfectly. And I was like, this looks great. I also added, which I think is cute, highlights in the eyes like the bottle does. I think that just gives more cohesiveness. Cohesiveness is key. And like all my character designs, I really try to make it cohesive. I feel like I say that in like every video, but that's what I go for. And that's pretty much it. I love this guy. Again, I named him Bert Belcher. So cute. Here's a drawing I did later of him in a cupcake, which you can buy on my Ko-fi YCH store if you want one of your character. But I drew him later. It's such a cute drawing. I mean, look at him. Tell me that's not the cutest thing I've ever seen. Tell me. Yeah. Yeah. So I really like him. I don't know if you can tell. Hello everyone and welcome to today's character design. I've got something a bit different. Not really, but I didn't go for a challenge. I keep saying I'm not going for a challenge in these videos and I'm sorry. It's just because I want my character designs to be good and I want to do what I think is good in the moment and I'm going to do best in the moment. So I do apologize. That's why I keep not doing like challenge specific things. But if that doesn't bother you, leave a comment, because if it doesn't bother any of you, I'm going to keep doing it. Well, I mean, I'll probably keep doing it if it bothers you anyway. But I mean, if a lot of people don't like it, I'll change it. But today, I wanted to draw a character with a big puffy tail, which ended up not being what happened because I didn't like it. So I drew this like lamb. He's technically a mutant because he's got 4 ears. But I don't think I might title the video Mutant. I don't know if it's mutant-y enough to title it Mutant, but if I do, that's why. If I don't, here's why I did it. But I wanted to make it a lamb, so I gave him big, puffy, curly hair. And I decided to give him 2 eyes. One at the top and one in the middle. I think that's kind of fun. Again, I was just like drawing because I wanted to draw a character with big, puffy tail. I actually just like, I don't know. I didn't really think when I was drawing this. I feel like I say that a lot. For some reason, I just need to think more. Crazy how that is. But I I draw tall characters all the time, draw boy characters who are relatively, like, this one's not scrawny, I wouldn't call him scrawny, but he's, like, skinny-ish. But I gave him big paws, because of course I did. I had to give him big paws, which I actually struggled drawing for some reason. I don't know why. It was just a moment, I guess. But I drew one and then copy-pasted it on the other side because I was having issues, so it's just like, I might as well. I do that often. If you want to do that on a ref sheet, do not let anyone stop you doing that. You drew the other side. If you want to copy and paste it onto the other side, that is fine. Sometimes people are just like, that's cheating. I'm like, you do know you drew both sides, or you drew that one side, so you have the rights to it. Did you know that? Because I knew that. I just think it's so silly when people are like, you shouldn't copy and paste. I'm like, it just saves time, you know? Like, I want to work on other projects, so I'm going to copy and paste. Sorry, that's a little bit of a rant. I'm sure a lot of people agree with me, and there's not that many people who disagree, but it's just a little something. I feel like a lot of people who disagree with that are the people who aren't artists. Or digital artists, or like people who do traditional, which is fair. Like, if you do traditional and like you feel like traditional, I get it. I do traditional. I'd feel a little bit annoyed if I couldn't copy and paste on traditional work too. But like, you drew it, you can use it. Don't let anyone stop you from doing what you want, honey. You know. And here's where I tried to draw the big puffy tail, which it just, I don't know, it didn't look good. You'd think, like, with the top being heavy and fluff, the bottom could also match being heavy and fluff. Maybe if I didn't have the whole tail being fluff and I just had one fluff at the bottom. If you get what I'm saying. like a lion's tail, where it's got that big puff at the bottom. Maybe it'd work, but it just didn't work with the big tail, so I gave him a small one. And color palette isn't red and blue. Can we get an applause for that? Like, seriously, it's not red and blue, but it is blue. But it's like it's a blue, you know. Like, can we just allow it? Like, I think we can. But I was going for sweet, like, dessert, like, I just keep doing that, like adding sprinkles to stuff. I will not apologize. It's fun. I don't understand. It scratches an itch in my brain. Like I talked about in the last video, I think just adding sprinkles to stuff and adding colors, the same colors, like, splash throughout, it just adds cohesiveness. And that, like, I love cohesiveness. I think it's great. We love that for it. And I made sure to make the feet hued to that light blue, because if it were just all at the top, it wouldn't look balanced. So we want to make the arms, ears, and the hooves that light blue, which I think looks great. Anyway, that's it for this design. While I was drawing it, I didn't like it. I don't know why. It just keeps happening when my character designs. I draw it, but like, I commit to what I think will look good, and then I take a step back for a while, and then I come back and I love it. It's so silly. I don't like the Bert and this character. I actually haven't named this character, so if you have a suggestion, comment it. I thought Isaac, but I have a character named Isaac, so now I'm not sure. Sorry if there wasn't much worthwhile in this character design that I was talked about. This character design kind of happened. I did it, like, really quickly. I did it in, let me see, like 40 minutes? 45? A little under 45 minutes. So I snapped and it happened. But I really like it. Comment below what you think, and that's it. Hello everyone, and welcome to character design day number 14. Today you are going to like today's character design. I'm gonna say it now. It's not a red and blue color palette, so you have to like it because I did something fun. This character design, I adore it. I think it's very Kate Gruzian. I do. I think it's just something in my brain. It's just on brand for me. Now, today I went for a prompt, and today's prompt was falling, I think is what it was. So today's character, I went with the prompt, and the prompt was falling. So what was I gonna do? I could have done something with wings or like a fallen angel or something like I feel like someone typically would have thought, but I decided to just give him like a hunchback, like a back that is just like broken and he's like falling over. Because I think that's hysterical. Is that not funny? That is funny, and that is perfect. You know, Scarlet, we did a hunchback character, and I like doing those type of characters. I actually have a character kind of like that. His name's DJ. He is a hunchback, and kind of influenced this character a little bit, not too much, but the personality wise, they're both kind of like, DJ's a zombie, so this character gives zombie-ish energy. And so obviously I made him a dog alligator. Were you not expecting that? You should have expected that. That's the obvious route to take this character design. You know, I really don't know what I was thinking, making it like a dog alligator. I think I don't know. I just did it. I don't think I thought about it. I think I just did it. It was being stupid. So I got through the sketch like stupid quick. Like stupid quick. This drawing, hold on. It only took, actually no, it took an hour 20 minutes. So that is actually quite a while for a character design. That's quite a while. At least for me. But I had such a fun time drawing this character design, and the line art also looks great. So I just went on to line art. Not much to say about line art. Again, I think this line art looks fantastic. I love it. I'm not going to complain. This design took like an hour and 20 minutes, which is a while for me. But to be fair, I was struggling with the color palette, and you will see that eventually. But, you know, right now I'm on line art. So I, for this little pupper, I tried to give him spikes. A lot of spiky spikes. So he's got like clumps of like fluff that are like spiked on his cheeks. So I also made his character, oh my goodness, his fingers very pointed, which I think is fun. I think that's very funny. I think yeah. Sorry, I just really like this design. I'll be honest, one of my favorite things to draw is like male anatomy on like the torso. I don't think I draw it accurately, but I like the way I draw it. I just think it's fun. I don't know. There's something about like just scrawny torso. Here's a picture of DJ that I really like with like, that's an example. Like I really enjoy drawing that. I don't know why. I don't know. So I tried to add scales throughout like the whole design. Keep it cohesive. You know, we like to say that here. You know, keep it good. And again, more spikes, more fluffy fur. I tried not to make it too fluffy and make it distract from like the big spikes. So that was a bit of a, you know, thinking back and forth. Added big claws on his foots because, you know, why not? I don't normally like to do that because it's a little annoying to draw, I'll be honest. Claws, they're just annoying. There's one character I like to draw claws on, and that's Deliza. She's the only one. She's my queen, and she's the only one, the only one I like drawing claws on. Line art, line art, line art. Don't we love line art? I wish I had more to say about this line art, but I don't. Oh, and I added a tail. His tail's like scrawny as well. If his tail was, his tail is good this size. I'm glad I kept it this size. I didn't make it too big, like, because it would just look so weird. Just having like a giant gator tail. But like I like how it's smaller. And of course, added the spikes on that go along the spine and then onto the tail, because that just makes sense. Okay, so onto color. I wanted this character to be like a neon greenish, like maybe like a teal, but it just didn't work out a way I wanted it to, like originally. But I kind of got pretty darn close to it. So I couldn't do like a teal green, but I was able to do like a light green, but it took me a while to play around with it. I tried yellow, I tried all these things. I did section off the colors before like I commit to a color palette. So what I like to do is I'll just throw down colors that like could work theoretically. And then if I don't like specific colors, I'll just hit the protect layer and just color it in, change it, see what I like. So I blocked in the colors, blocked in all the particles, just did my best to kind of make a cohesive color palette. I didn't like it, and I knew I would go back and change it. So I was self-aware in the moment. Because like that yellow skin, it doesn't really work. Like it theoretically, if you took the color palette away from this character, it would work, but on this, it doesn't. So I changed it. I tried a lot of colors. I tried a light blue, because of course I went to blue, because of course I did. I think, yeah, here I tried to do a red and blue, but I stopped myself and I'm like, no, Katie, we cannot. You're not allowed. And then I landed on this nice, light green, and it looked great. I don't think in the moment I was able to convince myself it looked good. I think I was still like focused on it too much and was like, it doesn't really look good. But this light green, we add another green over it, and that sells the design. I think that ties it all together. I make it a little darker in a moment, but it looks so good with the dark green. Tell me I'm wrong. Go ahead. Tell me I'm wrong. I dare you. And then to balance the dark, give another darker color in contrast, I got a dark purple. And I put that on the spikes, and I think that looks great. And looking back on it, the stripes kind of stick out. I don't know. I know I did that because of like reptile tails have that, or like dragon tails will have that like scales underneath that like match it. Do you know what I mean? Do I think it sticks out? Yeah, I do. Would I change it? No. But looking at it artistically, if I could change something, I would probably put stripes, I don't know, one stripe on the stomach, or just try and get something that matches it better, make it more cohesive. I know I say cohesiveness all the time, but I guess technically, since the scales go back and forth, so could the stripes. I don't know. It's, you know, it's just to each their own, I suppose. But this character design, stunning. And that's it. And I love this character design. He's stunning. I love him. I think he's so fun. Color palette, very out there. I don't think I've done a character with this type of color palette, but it looks great. I don't have any problems with it. I really struggle with picking color palettes, and I think it's because I just stare at it for too long, and then I go immediately into color, and then I just, anything that's not in my comfort zone or not red and blue or like something I'm used to, I think I just convince myself it doesn't look good in the moment. But I'm glad, because in the moment when I was coloring Drake, which is what I named him Drake, I didn't think it looked good, but I let myself choose things that I knew would look good, and then I took a step back and I came back and I loved it. So honestly, don't trust your heart. Just don't do it. Trust your brain in this moment. Just do what is logical, do it, and then take a step back and see where you're at. You know, life's all about taking a step back and seeing how you can improve, and just, you know, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself. Anyway, I'm kind of ranting, so I'll shut up. I like this design. I think it's great. Color palette's great. If you have any opinions, leave it in the comment below. I think the concept for this prompt is great. I think I killed it. I'll be honest. Thank you. Hello everyone, and welcome to day 15 of character design. Now today, this character design might not be everyone's cup of tea. It is a mutant character. I as an artist, I try to push boundaries and comfort zones for people. That's not my goal, but it's often the result of my art. You know, I have Kazmara. I think she's a fan favorite, but she also is one that likes to be hated and called disgusting. I think Kazmara is beautiful. I draw characters that just push the limits, and this character is definitely one of them. So let's have an open mind. Now, today's prompt was Whisper. So I wanted to do a character that had several mouths and 3 heads. Well, eventually 4, but we'll get to that. So I drew a character who has a middle head with elf ears, and then she's got 2 on the side of her head. They like just sprawl out, and they have like their own neck, but they're all connected to like one throat. So the 2 heads on the side are cyclopses. The one in the middle has 2 eyes, but on the design, all eyes except for 2 are like glassy. Do you know what I mean? So there's no iris. And then I added big fun strands of hair because she flies. I feel like, because, you know, it's like a whisper in the wind. Like, I feel like it makes sense that she would fly, you know? And then just because I wanted to be bold, I put a head on her butt. I did. I'm not going to apologize. I did do it. And then I used the head that's on her butt And I gave her a ponytail, which kind of acts like a tail for her. You know, to make the prompt really stick out, I tried to give her big lips. Well, I didn't try, I did. I give her big lips because I just feel like, you know, whisper. I feel like that makes sense. The line art for this is actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Could it be better in some spots? Sure. But again, I like it. You know, I had a lot of fun drawing the hair. I always have fun drawing hair for some reason. I don't know why. But there's not much I can say about the line art. This design, I really hope people like it because I really like it a lot. You know, but if I'm biased, I'm the designer, so of course I like it. I just think there's something beautiful about different bodies and different attributes. So I hope people really also like that concept. You know, it's also a reason why I like drawing gore. I haven't in a while, but that was like my comfort thing to do for a while because I think the human body is really cool, and I think the way God created us is really intricate and honestly perfect. You know, God doesn't make mistakes. I think it's really cool and intricate, and how the like blood circulation, how our brain works, how our heart pumps all blood, and you know, all that stuff. I think it's cool, and I think it's fun to draw, and I like to draw different types of creations, you know, pushing the limits of what, you know, could be created. And I also decided to not give her arms because, you know, she flies. So I feel like, I don't know why flying means like she doesn't have arms, but that's what my brain like associated for some reason. So I put mouths on her arms, you know, to match the whisper prompt as well. I really took my time with this drawing. It took almost 2 hours, which mainly is because of the color palette, which I'll get into when we get there. And lining the hair, I had a ball. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I also, just to balance it, I added one strand of hair on the other side, just for fun. Would it technically look better without? Perhaps, but I added it because I wanted to. So after that, I went on to coloring, and I wanted to make her skin dark. I'm not sure why I saw it as that, but I did. Maybe it's because like I'm thinking when I think of the word prompt or whisper, I think of wind, and I kind of think of tornado. And like when you draw tornadoes, they're like dark. You know what I mean? Like they're gray. So I think that was my thought process. And I also threw on some roses on her because I was feeling like whispers, they grow. You know, whispers. You hear one whisper, and then the whispers get louder, and they kind of fill your brain. I don't know. Maybe this is like stupid, and it doesn't make sense, but to me, it makes sense, and I'm not really sure how to explain it. I also gave her stretch marks, which is adorable. So I added roses on her legs, some on her thigh with the stretch marks, and then on her chest, and then one on her cheek. After that, I tried to incorporate, I was going to add actually more mouths on her skin, but it just did not work, and I didn't like it, so I just scratched that idea. I just went without it. But I tried adding a darker blue, so I added a darker blue on the lips. and eventually on the limbs. Yeah, there, yeah, on the limbs. And on top of the head, I added a dark blue. I tried light blue. I tried something that would give a contrast of colors, but I ended up doing the saturated, really blue. Yeah. And then I added the line of shading on the eyes, added blue to the eyes, the main eyes, and then went on to hair, which I immediately got probably the best idea for it, which was white fading into that light blue, and then the ponytail obviously needs to be a different color, so it'll eventually go from white, the light blue, to the darker blue, which I fidgeted around a little bit just to make sure I liked the white and the light design better for the first one, which I did. So, I mean, good. I'm happy with that. But I did fidget around just to make sure that is what the best option was. And I did go back to the skin color and I was playing around with it. I just wasn't sure. And I did ended up landing on like a greenish color, which it just looked the best. Do I think this is perfect for the prompt? For me, yeah. Do I think everyone will agree with that? Probably not. But for me, that's just how I see it. Anyway, I hope you like her. I really like this character design. I think she's beautiful. I think she's unique. I think she's stunning. You know, she's all that in a bag of chips. Her name is Viska, which is Swedish for whisper, and I felt like that fit. I didn't have any names, so I just sometimes when I don't have a name, I'll just throw it in Google, and then I'll see what it is in other languages, and if I can pronounce it, it's good enough for me. But I think Viska's really cute. Again, if you don't like this character, that's fine. I do not blame you. It's fine. But I really love her. I hope you love her too. If you have any critiques or any comments, leave them below. I would love to hear them. Hello everyone, and welcome to day 16 of character design. Now today's something a little different. I kind of did a silhouette challenge. And I'll explain what I mean by that. I mean, last night when I was sleeping, I looked over at my lamp and I saw this silhouette. I had a bunch of cords on my cabinet where my lamp was, and I saw like this character. Just the silhouette. I saw like the head, but like I didn't see the full thing. And I'm like, that would be a really cool concept, this silhouette. So that's what this character is. I've actually done this type of thing once before with my character Grinder. I actually saw him when I was sleeping. I used to have a plant in my room, and for some reason I saw his silhouette of like the two heads, and I drew him. So I did it successfully once. So why not? Let's do it again. Let's try it. So this character is a silhouette. It was based off of a silhouette of my lamp and some cords on my cabinet. I don't have a picture, unfortunately. So I started sketching it. I eventually changed the shape of the head because I did not like this. Like, it was giving Spider-Man, and I didn't like it. So I did eventually change it. But the body, I really like drawing robots, giving them like separated parts of like their chest, their torso, and I think it looks great on this design. I really thought through how I wanted things to be shaped, especially the arms, because like I am not good at drawing like legs in that shape. Do you like feral legs? You know how like they go in like a Z kind of? I'm not sure I'm explaining it great, but I'm not good at drawing this type of legs. I'm horrible at it. I will admit that. So I really tried to take my time and think through. This design took an hour and 10 minutes to draw. So I really thought through it. And again, I broke down each part of him because he's a robot. I broke down each part, so like the chest, and then I did like a second chest underneath, which I thought was kind of cool. I don't know. I think it's kind of nifty. So he can bend probably a bit further than what like a normal one would. So I broke it down: the chest, the under chest, his tum-tum, and his crotch. And on the legs, the pieces with lines, those are metal, so those will be colored gray. I knew that when I was sketching it. I was like, this is gonna be colored gray. I'm gonna put the lines in, so that's why I did that. And I gave him a tail of an outlet, which I had to do it. It's just cute, you know?
Once I was done with the tail, I went on to the head, and I changed it to be more of a square, but the edges are rounded. And I gave him a little knob at the top where if you turn that knob, it'll turn on all of his lights. And then I added eyes. And I like the way I added the eyes. I think they're cute. He looks like a little happy little guy. You'd think I'd like draw him evil, but no, he's just happy to be here. And then I went on to coloring, and this character is going to be blue because my lamp in my room is blue. And after I added that light blue, I started adding the gray, a nice gray, like a light, and then a darker one to give contrast. I actually played around a while with the thought of adding yellow because, like, yellow light, I didn't want to do white. But it did not look good. It looks crusty, and I don't like it. It looks... I'm not a fan. And then instead of doing that yellow, I just started blocking in different gradients of blue, which honestly worked out really well. I like how the chest pieces go in gradients. I think that's cute. I think that's great. Once I started putting in those blues, I started messing with the concept of what would glow on him. And again, I tried yellow again. I don't know why. I just shouldn't. And I started playing around with different colors, and nothing really stuck out to me, so I just didn't. His ref sheet doesn't show him glowing, but I came back later and I will show you a drawing later of what it would look like when he is glowing. I also played around with putting like that electric design that's on his outlet on other parts of the body, but it just didn't look good. And then I played around with adding particles, which didn't look good, which, I mean, surprising, because I tried to force particles onto all my characters. So I'm glad I didn't go with it, because I do that too often, but then I went with stripes, because I should have done that originally, because, you know, the metal has those stripes, so I should just put it on the other parts of it, because duh. I don't know why I didn't think that to begin with. And then to get that lightning bolt that is on the outlet, I put it on the chest pieces, which looks great. I think that looks great. I think it's stunning. Then I put some gray around his eyes. That way I can make his eyes blue. And it would stand out a bit better. And I took that, of course I tried to add particles again, and didn't. Of course I took that blue, and I added more stripes on the little Sharpie thingies. The little stabbers. I don't know what you call those little claws. I added dark blue, and then I added light blue. And then I don't know what is up with me lately and drawing a character with a good color palette and then convincing myself while I'm drawing it that it's bad. So I threw a hue over it and started playing around with it, which is good advice, don't get me wrong. If you have a color palette you don't like, throw a color over it and change the blending. But nothing looked good. The original looked better, so that's what I went with. And just to add a lighter color, I feel like that's what was missing, was a lighter color. I added some accent lines on the chest, and then added some on the arms and legs, which made the design 10 times better. I'm glad I did it. Sometimes when you look at a design, it's too dark, and sometimes you just need a really light color. And then I added some stripes on the tail, which I think look great. I think it just looks better. I think if I had just left it a solid color, it'd just stick out way too much. Then I added some more color on the outlet. And that's pretty much it. I love this character. His name is Lynx. I actually wouldn't change anything about this character design. Typically, I can think of like one specific thing I'd change, but I think he just looks good. It looks sleek, it looks good, and I love him. I think it's great. If you have any critiques about him, leave them down below. I'd love to hear your opinion. Hello everyone and welcome to day 17 of character design. Now today is a little different. I honestly did not know how to title this video, but the challenge is to do one of those character design challenges. I don't know what you call them, but it's where they'll list traits and something specific to you. So like if you have blue eyes, give your character long hair. If you have brown hair, give your character purple hair. You know what I mean? Like give it a different quality that is based off of things about you. So that's what I did. Now, this character, I was not a big fan of while I was drawing it. Looking back again, I like it. I say that about a lot of characters. You know, we've been new. So, the prompts said, the hair should be dictated on whether you're a night owl or an early bird. And I am a night owl. I cannot handle mornings. I sleep in all of the time. I cannot do it. So I gave this character long hair. The hair color was based off your favorite colors, which will be red eventually. Eye color said to be natural if you're drawing digitally, which I don't know if did I do that? They're not really natural, but like I took some creative liberty. If you live in a hot area, add freckles. I do not. If you live in a cold area, it's winter now. So technically, yeah, it is cold, so I added a scarf. If you live in a moderate temperature, which is what my normal climate is, add jewelry. So I added bracelets. Halo if you are the oldest child or an only child, which I am not. I have 3 other siblings. Add a crown if you're the middle one, which technically, since there's 4 of us, I am one of the 2 in the middle. I have an older brother, and then a slightly younger brother than him, and then me, and then my sister Chrissy. She's the youngest. So I did add a crown, but I will get into how I added it later. And then a flower if you're the youngest, which technically me and my sister are the same age. We're twins. I don't know if you knew that. Add tattoos if you have a dog, which we do have a dog. His name is Wasabi. I'll put a picture here. If you have a cat, add fangs, which I do. I will add a picture here. His name is Bubba. His name's Palmer, but I call him Bubba. I call him a lot of names. I call him Big Man. I call him Little Fry. I call him Honey. That's my favorite. And I call him a lot of derogatory names. He deserves it. He's a little rat. I call him a rat. I call him a dirty little weasel. He's a dirty little weasel, and I will not apologize. Anyway, the design. I gave her long hair, which flow off in all sorts of directions. Since, like, it was based off of whether you're a night owl and early bird, I'm a night owl, and, like, the thing is, I, like, stay up. And I'm just, like, stay up until, like, I'm, like, groggy and stupid. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, that stupid you get when you stay up? That's why I gave her, like, flowy hair. I feel like that kind of fit. I don't know. The scarf, I wasn't sure how I was going to place it originally, but I decided to place it behind her instead of in front of her, which I think looks so good. Now, how I added the crown, I gave her, like, a satchel that connects to her belt, and I added it on the satchel because I felt like she wasn't really girly, and I feel like a crown would really make her just look too girly, and I didn't like that idea. And the way I added the flowers, I added it on the tattoos, and I added it on the back. So the tattoos, I thought about putting on both arms, but then I decided against that, and I just put it on one side, and I put a flower on her cheek as well, and then one on her hip, which I think looks really nice. I like the fact that the bracelets match the shoes, like with those thick lines. I think that's cute. I just like it. It's cohesive. And then I went into coloring. Color palette, really simple, really classic. Red. I mean, come on now. If I can't do that, then I can't do nothing. You know what I mean? It was a little tricky having to color in so much. Like, this design is pretty busy. Like, she would not be my go-to for a comic because she's just pretty complicated. A side character? Maybe. But definitely not, like, one of the main characters. I also really, really tried adding green in this design. I really tried to fight for it, but... And I tried adding yellow. I don't know what I was thinking, because when I saw this character, I saw what the final product was that I got to eventually. But I kept trying to add stuff that I didn't see. So I was like, why am I doing this? So I eventually just deleted the green, the yellow, the orange, and all that, because it just looks stupid. Like, it looks tacky. And then I just went with red, and then I went with monochrome, and then the skin colors. Trying to balance all of that in this character was a challenge. It should have been, probably not, but it was for some reason. And I added, because I felt like it was kind of empty, I added, like, lines along the tattoo, which reminded me of my character Decade. I'll put a picture here. These characters, I feel, personality-wise, not similar. Design, kind of similar. I don't know why. The roses, it's just, you know, a theme. And coloring the scarf was also a challenge in itself. Having, like, matching the colors, making it look good. It was just a lot. And I didn't make the eye color really natural. I don't think that's a natural eye color. But it wouldn't look good. I'm gonna allow it because it wouldn't look good with any other color. And if I put green, like green eyes, it would stick out because there's no other green in the design. So I didn't. And then I finally landed on some colors on the scarf I liked. And I also added that tattoo pattern that's on her chest and her arm onto the shirt. And then I added some rose patterns on the pants, which I think really tied it together as well. Then I just made sure to balance all of the colors across the whole palette. That's really what I was having difficulties with the most. You know, that dark color, I tried to balance it with adding some like a smoky eye. The red at the bottom, I tried adding it in the shoes, you know, really, really tried to balance everything. I really like this design. I don't know if I'm going to keep her. That's all I can say about that. She might sit in my catalog for a while, just me staring at her. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to draw her a few times to know. But that's it. I really like this design. I think she's really, really cute and really classic.
Hello everyone and welcome back to day 18 of character design. Now today is by far my most favorite challenge I've done so far. It is the randomizer color challenge. It is from this picture. Each pixel on this picture is a different color and you just select a pixel from this picture and then use it on your character. But since the pixels are so small, I can't see them. So obviously like I don't know what I'm selecting. So since I've never done this challenge like this specifically, I'm going to just do a simple, fun design that I just randomly come up with, and then we'll add the colors onto that. So I picked a panda. I have drawn pandas all my life. It is my favorite animal. I drew that growing up. That's always what I would draw on like the side of my homework or the side of tests or whatever. That was always my go-to. And I learned over the years that I started drawing pandas all the same. They looked all the same, and then I was like, I need to branch out and try different things. So I got really good at being stupid. So I can get pretty creative with pandas, so this is definitely an example of that. This panda has one ear and one full arm. The other arm is chopped off and he doesn't have the other ear. And I will kind of incorporate that into his clothing as well. But I just came up with this design on the spot. It was really easy to come up with. I really like it. I think he's really cute. He's probably going to go into my group of circus characters just because he gives circus energy. But he does have fluffy ears. I tried to make the rest of his fur matted. Not matted, but flat. And then his tail and ear is fluffy just to give a variety of, I guess, texture, but just variance. Anyway, I don't have much to say about just sketching or like the line art. So I'm going to go ahead and let you watch it. It should be pretty quick. And then we'll get back to the colors. Alright, I'm sure you enjoyed that line art and saw me messing up the foot 50 million times, but I got through it. And we got our first color, which was yellow. So I just plopped that down and used it as a base color, and I can block in all my colors on top of that. After I got that yellow, I got like a light green, and I'm like, wow, that's perfect for the eyes, to do the eye whites and the mouth. So that's what his teeth color is, and that's what his eye whites are. And then after that, I got a slightly darker color than that, that's green, and that was perfect for shading the eye. And I went ahead and blocked in the arm, the left arm with it, and then did this fun pattern along the leg and the cutoff arm, which I thought was really cool since his cutoff arm isn't busy. We can make it busy using this pattern. After that, I got a fun saturated dark blue, which very funny. I love it very much. And I blocked in some more patterns, panda patterns. So, you know, the classic like circle around the eye. So I blocked that in. And then I took that green and I started adding more of the pattern around on the head because I was like, oh, his arm's cut off and he has that pattern there. Since he has no ear there, I should add that pattern to make it a bit more unique. And then I took that blue and I put it on the bottom of the foot because the other foot had that green, so just to balance it and fill in the color that was missing. Then I also took that blue and I put it in the green flower shape. And then after I got that blue, I got a different green, so I went ahead and filled in more of the flower colors because I felt like that was really the only thing I could use it for that like made sense in that spot. And then I took that color that I used on the eye whites and I needed to put it somewhere else in the design, so I tried adding it on the other arm. And then I took that other green as well and added it on the other arm as well because it still needed to be added more in the design. After that, I got another blue color, which was perfect for the pants, so I just blocked in the pants and that was pretty much solid for that. I played around with it in other places, but decided to put it in parts of the flowers as well. I really enjoyed playing around with that light blue color, adding it places, which I think it looks great the way I put it. And then I got a very fun color, which I feel like other people would have hated to get this color, but I got red and I really liked it. So I started blocking it in on patterns in that flower pattern and just on the other arm to give it, you know, more variance. I guess our new word for character design is now variance. We're very used to saying, how am I forgot? I say this every character design video and I already forgot what it was. Cohesiveness. Now we have cohesiveness and we have variance. Now I fidgeted with this red color for a little bit because I liked the idea of having it more on the design, but I decided against it. And then I thought of, come up with the idea of putting patterns on his chest, which honestly, a great idea. But I couldn't do it with that little strap there holding up his pants, so I did end up getting rid of it. And then I got another blue, which this blue color I didn't really like, but I added it on the pants, which it looks fine. I definitely would not have chosen that color if it hadn't been for this design. So I'm kind of just like playing around with this, and I end up getting rid of the straps because it just didn't look good. I tried putting the eye whites on it to see if it would work, change the color, see if it looked better, but no, it just didn't work, so I ended up taking it out. I do, however, like that idea as an outfit concept, so I might come back to it for a different character, but this character, it just didn't work. And then I selected that one blue color from the pants and put in the eyes and the red and kind of reversed it. So that's pretty much it for this character. I named him Peri because I feel like that just made sense. It's spelled P-E-R-I-E. And I think he's awesome. I love this challenge. I want to do this like 50 million times. It's so fun. Especially since I really need practice with color. I think this really helped me, I don't know, just understand it. If you want to see this challenge, please leave a comment because I will do this over and over.
Hello everyone and welcome to day 19 of character design. Today we are doing the color randomizer challenge again, which I loved yesterday's, so I'm thinking today's is going to be just as good, and spoiler alert, it is. Today I'm drawing Mabel. Mabel is a short, chunky mama. She's adorable. She is a panda, which I have never had a panda of this stature, so I'm very happy to have her for my collection. Now, I wanted to go for a cute, sweet theme, so that's what I did. She will end up being very desserty. Now, going into the line art, I jotted down the eyes, and I made one iris a heart, one iris an oval, and then I copied that on the ears. So one ear is an oval, and one ear is a heart. And then to balance, since she's short, she needs something big besides her chunky self, so I gave her chunky hair. Her hair is kind of like cinnamon rolls, like very big with the swirls. I think it's very cute. I even put a heart at the end of each, and in the middle she's got a chunk of fur and then a heart-shaped tuft. And then after I was done with the face, head, and hair, I went on to drawing her chest, and I went ahead and drew in a line for her bra, just so I can make sure I got that down because I wanted her to wear a one piece. And then I played around with giving her big bare paws. Now, since everything, like her chest is big, her tummy's big, her hair is big, and her ears are big, also her legs are quite chunky as well, Giving her bear paws was honestly not a good idea. I really tried to push for it, but it just didn't work out. So I swapped that out instead for some smaller, normal size paws, which is fine. And that honestly took a little bit to draw and sketch out. I don't know why I was having such a difficult time with it, but I did. Once I got it down on one side, I went ahead and flipped that to the other side just to save some time. After that, I went onto the tummy and I just lined that in. And it took me a little bit of time to make sure the proportions were exactly the way I wanted it, but in the end I got there and I think it looks great. I also went through and got rid of the hair lines in the paws and just cleaned up the line art to make sure the line art wasn't too thin on the arms and it matched the hair and everything else. After that, I went ahead and lined the legs and I copy and pasted it to save time, and her feet are so cute. I like how small they are compared to her calves and thighs. And we gave her a big chunky tail to match her hair, which I think that was a better idea than big chunky paws. I tried the idea of having her tail the same shape as her hair, but I didn't really like that, so I just went with one big round tuft. And that was pretty much it for the line art. I think the line art is pretty solid on this drawing, but we're on to coloring, and coloring is going to be very fun. The first color I got was exactly the color I wanted and dreamed of. It was a pink, and it wasn't too saturated. It was very cute, and I loved it, so I just plopped that down over all of it just to block it in. And then I got a color I didn't really like. It was a brown, and it's like a yucky, mucky brown. I blocked that down as some chocolate drips, but I ended up changing it later because, thank God, he gave me a different chocolate color later, so I was able to switch it out. But it's like this for now. And then I got a purple, which I didn't really like, so I used it to block in some concept ideas I had for the character when going into it, but I ended up changing that to a nice pink color I got, which is beautiful. It goes exactly with the other pink. And I used that purple and I threw it down on some sprinkles. Now this was good because the purple color we did not want to be so extreme because it would clash with the pink and the brown. So putting it as sprinkles is a very good way to add it without being too extreme, and it was subtle. And here's that chocolate color I got that I swapped with it, and I think it looks great. It looks good with the purple, which is even better, and I used that mucky brown as a drizzle, which is even better. Goodness gracious, thank you. Really improved the design because I was able to use that yucky mucky brown subtly instead of so extreme. And then after that, I got this teal color, which is very lovely. I used it as sprinkles. I like the contrast between the dark colors and that teal. And then I got a nice light blue, which also worked in the same variance, making that nice contrast. And I did heart sprinkles instead of circles, just to give variety. And after that, I got another red. So we threw it down in the hair and added more sprinkles. That way we have some more cohesiveness with that circle shape. And I also threw that on the mucky brown drizzle. I also took the pink skin color, and threw that in the hair as well, just to give some cohesiveness. And I got another green, so I threw that on the eyes and the paw pads, and then I did some drizzle, and I put it on the ears. And it took me a minute to fidget with it because it just wasn't fitting right, but I got there in the end. After that, I got this lovely blue color, which was perfect for the irises because I could put that lighter blue in there and make it look nice and cute. And I also used it as a sprinkle, and I did these little O shapes. After that, I got this yellow color. Now, I didn't know what to do with the yellow color, so I threw it down on the skin like it would work somehow. I knew it wouldn't, so I don't really know why I did, but I threw it down. I think it's because my original intention, I think I wanted the skin to be a different pink, so I was like, oh, I'll just block it down and then fix it later, but that ended up not happening. So I put it on her little one piece and on the hearts on the hair. After that, I got this nice green color to match. So I threw it on the one piece and I threw it on the hair. And I also fixed the leg because it was missing some sprinkles. Except for I did keep fidgeting with the skin color. I don't know why. I think I just wanted to add something to it, but it wasn't working. And then that was pretty much it for the design, but I went ahead and looked through the colors I would have gotten after that to see if I liked them, but they weren't. So I just stopped at the color I had last and called it good. Then I took that yellow and also put it out throughout the design more, sorry. Just to give it more cohesiveness, and added another drizzle on her chest. And to finish it off, I just balanced it out, made sure each color was throughout the design as much as I could, made sure everything was good, It wasn't overpowering in any areas. It was balanced and cohesive. And then I had a nice idea to put that chocolate on the parts of the hair, which I did, and I really like, and I'm glad I did it. Anyway, that's it for this design. Her name's Mabel. I love her. I'm actually thinking about making her and the last character a couple because I think it's just funny. I think that they're both just randomizer characters, and I think it'd be funny to have her such a shorty and him such a tall character as a couple. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make that a thing, but I'm thinking about it. I'm considering it. I'll have to do a few drawings. I haven't done it yet. So, you know, it's a possibility. But she is so cute. I love her. She's definitely not a character I'm going to animate that much, if ever. Trust me, I want to, but if she gets any animation, it won't be crazy. But then again, I've said that before and then drawn insane characters, so maybe it'll happen again.
Hello everyone and welcome to character design day number 20. I'm happy to be here, and today's character design will be pretty quick and easy. I just wanted to draw a mutant character with some like purple tones, magenta and blue. That's pretty much it. Now I was drawing Lynx's character, we remember this, and since I liked that kind of leg shape so much, I wanted to do it again, but in a more thick, like column sort of way. So I started drawing this character, and his name is Golem. I feel like that just makes sense. So I pretty much just started jotting down ideas. I started drawing his head and then was like, oh, I'll make him a cyclops. So I gave him an eye. I've only done an eye shape like this once for my fruit cat character right here. And I remember that was fun, so I'm going to do it again. And then I just started blocking in the torso, and then I put a mouth on his chest, and then just started blocking and everything else. And I had the funnest idea to give him 4 sets of arms, but one set of the arms is like the legs, where it's that column shape all the way to the ground. I played around with the idea of having it attached to his head, but I thought that looked a little stupid, so I went with the idea of them going down. I also thought about giving him a tail, but it just didn't look good when I gave them those column arms. It was just too much, so I got rid of it. After I got the idea down, I just went on to line art. Line art was pretty quick and easy, so I got through it quick. You can go and watch it here, and then I'll get back to you when we do some coloring. Now, for the colors again, I wanted to do some sort of purple tones with blue and magenta, so I just started jotting down this lovely purple color, not too saturated and very nice and mysterious, and I balanced it with a lighter version and put that on the arms and blocked it in. After that, I got my blue color and started jotting it down and got some ideas of where I wanted it, and I also knew I wanted to add like particles. Since he's like a stone character, he needs like particles of stuff on his skin. It just makes sense to me. So I started adding blue and then adding purple on the blue and adding blue on the purple. So it's just a mix match of both, just balancing it. After I draw in the purple, I'm like, I need magenta or a pink in here. So that's what I did. I added it. It looks lovely. I think it matches to a T. And I started adding that as particles, and on the eye and on the tongue, and just playing around with what I thought might look nice, and adding all the particles I could ever hope and dream of. I also decided that I would add some diamond patterns on his hands and on his shoulders, which I think was a great idea because it was just missing a little bit of something. And If you have a character you were like, this character's missing something, it might just be a nice bright color somewhere to add an accent. So I took that nice bright color and I added it around the eye and on those diamond patterns, and I think that really sealed the design up real nice. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, no, today's was quick and easy and I had a lot of fun with it, so I hope you enjoyed it. This character's name is Golem. He's gonna fit right in with my mutant characters. He looks great, stunning, we love him. Hello everyone and welcome to day 21 of character design. Now, similar to yesterday's, today's is very quick and easy. Now, I didn't have any concept going into this. I just kind of drew it just to get today's done with because I've been a bit busy. So I just threw down a body type that I liked, which is a little chunky mama, and I just started drawing concepts of stuff I liked. I gave her a really cute haircut, which I really enjoy. I gave her elf ears, and I gave her a halo, and then some horns to go with it. And her outfit is a t-shirt tucked in some jeans, and it's got like, it's like low cut at the top, and she's got a jacket around her waist, and then she will have some sneakers on. The sketch was really quick and easy, and so was liner. So I'll let you watch the liner and we will get back to coloring. Now the liner for this is very nice, and if you saw me draw the halo, you might have noticed I didn't use the same brush for the halo. Now if you're doing a circle or something that would be annoying to color in, kind of like a halo, sometimes I do this for piercings or jewelry, you use the edge brush, which it'll draw it with an outline. So I'm not sure how to explain this, but it's like you draw a line, but that line has an outline around it. So whatever the color I want in the end is, I'll use it and then use the black to outline it. And it just saves a lot of time. And it's a lot easier to use that instead of doing the line art. And after that, I was on to coloring. And I started off with this nice light blue. It was perfect. And then I took a darker blue and just used that as an accent to darken her ears and nose. And then, since she's giving kind of ogre elfish vibes, I wanted to add a skin pattern, and I added those particles on her skin, which I think works really well with her character. I know that's something I do pretty often, but I felt like it worked with her really well, so I allowed it. Then after that, I started coloring in that jacket with a nice dark blue and some on her shoes. I added it on her horns, and then I got a lovely blonde color and I put that on her hair. Now, as I'm putting down these colors, I'm trying to balance it and make sure the hair color, is at the lower end of the screen as well. So I just put it on the shoes. I messed around with it quite a few times to make sure it looked good. But in the end, I got there. It just took a little bit of time. It also took a while to figure out what I wanted her shirt and jean color to be. I thought maybe khakis would look nice, but it didn't. So I ended up changing it. I finally landed on this nice green color, which I think was the best. I think that's the best option. I think it looks really good. And now I just need to balance those colors out and make them all cohesive. So I just play around with the colors, make sure to balance them. It takes a while, but again, we get there in the end. And that is pretty much it for today's design. Thank you for being with me. Sorry that yesterday's and today's is really quick and short. I've been a bit busy, which is fine. But the next few ones, I promise, are going to be better. I'm going to try recording these a bit differently. I can only improve from here. So thank you for being here with me. And this character, I like her, I love her, but Chrissy said she looked like a mini-me. So I don't know if I'm going to keep her because I don't want her to be confused with my mini-me's, if that makes any sense. My mini-me's are based off of me, and she is too close to me, to my body type and like my hairstyle, and I don't want her to get confused. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep her. If I'm going to keep her, she's not going to be a main character. She's just going to do her own thing. I'm not sure yet. So if you have any offers for this character, message my Discord. I will hear out any offers. Don't be shy, but just be respectful if I decline your offer. Hello everyone, and welcome to Character Design Day 22. Exactly, my silence speaks volumes. I'm so frustrated with this voiceover and this everything, I'll be honest. If you can't tell, I'm trying to be kind of quiet because it's 3 in the morning. Drawing these, or getting this video done has been like pulling teeth, and even though yesterday I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do a better video and design, it's just like, oh my goodness, I tried so hard. But here I am. It's fine. I signed up for this, so I can only have myself to blame. This video is going to have 2 designs. I know that's a little different, but the first design is a pretty normal design based off of a prompt word. The second design is a color randomizer character. I just didn't think the second one was good enough for its own video. You can tell me in the comments whether you agree or disagree, but I'm just going to throw them in with this video and call it good. So for this first character, the prompt was slaughter. So I thought it would be fun to kind of draw a hyena. I tried to go for a hyena. I'm not sure if I like hit the nail on the head, but that's what I was going for. I didn't have any like reference pictures of a hyena, so it was just like my brain and what it would see. To go with the prompt, I decided that his hair would be very thick and top heavy. That way he could store his knives in his hair and it wouldn't even hit his head, which I think is very funny. To also go with the prompt, I gave him like shocked eyes, which I feel like just makes sense. And I put cuts along his chest and tummy, and then his tail will be the same texture and pattern as like the guts that come out of his chest. That'll make a lot more sense when you see the final. And then I gave him a high cut shirt and a low cut jean. That way it could really show off the marks on his chest and tummy. And I put some holes in the shirt and jeans to show off the patterns on his skin. So that's pretty much my idea for this character. The line art took forever. I really didn't want to line it. I was like really excited to draw characters, but like for some reason this one wasn't clicking. I don't know why. Actually, halfway through the line art, I went and colored some like base adopts, which here they are. They're on my Ko-fi if you want them. They're available. But like it was pulling teeth drawing this. Even though it turned out great in the end, I'll say this character's pretty good. It was just, I did not enjoy it. Which, I mean, that's life. Sometimes, you know, you go to do stuff and you're just not enjoy it, even if it's something you enjoy doing all of the time. I don't expect every character design I do for me to have a bright smile on my face and be all go happy and lucky, you know what I mean? But the line art did take forever, although it looks pretty good for me not wanting to be there. Once I got the line art done, I just like randomly picked this like skin color. I knew like a basis of what I wanted, but I just like kept clicking until I got to something decent. And then for the guts and hair and the tail, I got this lovely pink color, and then I got a darker version of it and I started doing scribbles around it, which is great if you're doing like a brain texture. I think it's very fun and it's very therapeutic just to scribble, and it makes it for a good design and it's like interesting. After that, I grabbed a nice yellow for the eye color and jotted that down because that just makes sense. Like that yellow really looks nice with the pink, and in the end it'll go along with the blue color I put on the knife. So we have this is actually primary colors. For the skin and the shirt and the shoes, I got this nice dark blue. I got this nice dark brown to balance with the skin, and I did want to do cheetah patterns on his skin originally, but that didn't look good, so I just went with chunky particles. And the jeans actually took a while for me to figure out. I wasn't sure. I didn't really like just one blue color, so I ended up getting this like desaturated gray blue, and then putting a saturated hue like airbrushed on, which looks pretty good. I'm not sure if that was the best option, but I can't think of anything else that would have made it look better. And that's actually pretty much for that design. It's pretty simple when you look at it, but the concept I think is really cool. And he's primary colors, so I think that's pretty fun. I think my one flaw would be is that yellow color. It's only on the top of the design, it's nowhere else. Maybe just like add it as laces on the shoes or something. I know they're boots, but like, I don't know, add laces onto it and figure something out. Just get that color on there somewhere. That's my only critique. Will I change it? Probably really not. But that's pretty much it. Okay, on to the next character. And this character is a color randomizer character. And I was basically just, I'm going to sketch and line any character that I want, that I just come up with on the top of my brain, which actually was very similar to the first design in stature, but their fur styles are very different. This character has a lot of fur on its face and on its head, which, I mean, they're both very top heavy with the hair, which is very fun. But body type, these characters aren't too different actually. I would say the second one though is more the length of like the torso is longer, and the torso is more of a rectangle than a triangle. And sketching was pretty quick and easy, so I went to line art, and that didn't take crazy long, and the line art turned out pretty decent, so I can't really complain. I don't remember, because actually like I saved this design because it wasn't too great, so I don't really remember like if I enjoyed doing the liner. I don't think I had any qualms with it. I think it just was what it was. And he's also got low-cut pants. I don't know if you know this, but a lot of my characters have those. I wouldn't say a lot, but like every character with this body type has low-cut pants, because it's just like, if you're gonna do this body type, you might as well show it off. So once I was done with line art, I was on to coloring, and the first color I got from the random thingy is this nice green. So I just plopped that down as the base color, and then I got this nice pink, and then I like colored in like the basic cat stuff, like the ears, the paw pads, and the nose, which was very smart, because if you have a pink, you might as well do that. And then I got this nice dark blue that's very saturated, and I threw that down on like the ears, the cheek fluffs, and then a pattern on the skin, which I actually did do cheetah print on this character, and it was successful to a degree, and you'll see why in a second, or in a little bit, or however long the video wants to be. After that blue, I got this nice dark green, which worked perfectly under the blue for the patterns, so I went ahead and threw that on, and then it worked very nicely on the eyes. And I got this like nice light green to balance out the other parts of the skin, just as an accent color. And then I got this like neon green, and this is where I don't know if it looks good. I put it over the blue to do that like cheetah print, and I like the final product personally, but I like it because it's a color randomize challenge or whatever. I know I mess up saying that, but color randomizer challenge. I like it because it's that kind of character. Now if it was like a normal character design, I wouldn't be like, oh my god, that's stunning and amazing. I'd be like, oh, that's interesting. But if someone told me like, oh, this is the colors they got and they had to make it work, I'd be like, oh, that's pretty cool. But I'm gonna keep him. I like him. I just don't think he's like stunning, amazing, you know, perfect in every single way. I think he's flawed, and I think I love that for him. The pants was probably the most difficult. I didn't know what on earth to do, so I ended up doing like the pink color with a hue and then like a stripe, and I'd say that's probably the most, like, the biggest problem area is the pants. But like, I don't know, I still haven't wrapped my brain around what I could have done better. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I don't have a name for this character yet. If you come up with anything, feel free to comment. But I like him because he's fun. And that's pretty much it.